Just gotta make sure we're in focus. Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So apparently this is what happens when I try to make my hair look good for YouTube. Doesn't so much work. Anyways, so today I just kinda wanted to have a chit chat, get ready with me using a couple of new products. And technically these are products that my sister bought a while ago, didn't work for her, / she never uses. So I just kind of borrowed them from her and took them off of her hands. Anyways, we're gonna zoom in and go ahead and get started. So, zooms, other way. Okay, so, I've already moisturized my skin. All I'm gonna do is spray it down with some Mario Badescu spray. And then we're gonna be going in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. And I have this in the shade Soft Ivory. Now this is maybe just a hair too dark, but it's too light for her. If I had the slightest like self-tan, it would match perfectly, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. I'm going to do my best to keep this in frame. It's got the spatula here. I'm just going to put that on the back of my hand. That was a lot. Okay, and I'm going to first start applying this. I'm going to patch it on actually with my finger. And then I'm going to blend it in with a Real Technique sponge. I'm going to use the round side to just pounce that into my skin. Hit the forehead. I'm grabbing my mirror so I can get a closer look because the viewfinder is just a little bit far away. And I want to make sure I get a nice even coverage. I'm just going to get a little bit more on my hand. As you can see, I'm basically out to blend it down the neck. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Whoops, I'm going to drop my mirror. Alright, looks like I got pretty much everything. I'm going to use whatever's left and just drag that rest down the neck. And now I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit more. See if you can see. So you can still see, freckles and slight discoloration through this foundation, but it gives such a beautiful, like, natural coverage and evens everything out so nicely. Actually, I might zoom you out a little bit. Don't need to be that close. Anyways, so now I'm going to go in with my Bobbi Brown corrector and extra light bisque just for my under eyes. It kind of brightens and corrects everything a little bit. And I just use my fingers with this. Then I'm going to go in with just a teeny tiny bit of my Tarte Shape Tape in Fair. And I always hit my chin with it. Cupid's bow, around the nose, down the nose, forehead, and I have a blemish there. And then I just do a few dots under each eye / streaks. And then I'm just going to go in with the same sponge. And I'm going to use just one of the flat sides just to blend that all over. It gives a little bit of extra coverage and just brightens up a little bit, so it makes you look just a little bit more flawless. Oh, I hate when your face itches when you're blending in makeup. Because you can't itch it, and that just happened to me like right there on the side of my nose. Oh, and then I have like almost like deep set eyes, so that inner cavern is always a little bit tricky to get depending on the sponge that I'm using. And this one's pretty new to me. Well, I want to make sure I'm still in focus. It looks okay right now. I'm going to try not to touch it too much. Alright, now to set just my under eye area, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder right here. I'm almost out of this. And then I'm going to take my smaller purple sponge and just dip that in. And then just kind of hit it all over the eye area and to the lower lash line. There's something about setting your concealer with a damp sponge that doesn't make it look too overly dry. And then sometimes, oh, I'm sorry if I'm going out of focus. I just hit everywhere else a little bit too. Now to set the rest of my face, I'm going to use another Wet n Wild product. I'm going to use just their pressed powder in Light Warm. It's the lightest shade, I believe. And I'm going to grab a brush from behind me here, e.l.f. complexion brush. And then I'm going to throw it on the floor. Thankfully, it is still in one piece. And I'm just going to very lightly set the rest of my face just to get rid of that slight tackiness. And this is a very interesting powder. Notice it literally sets, but it provides no coverage. There's like no pigment to this. It's very, very sheer. But it does mattify everything really nicely. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the Maybelline New York Master Contour Palette in Light, I believe is the shade. I don't even know. Can't tell. Anyways, so has a contour, blush, and a highlight. We're going to use all three. And I actually love using my e.l.f. small stipple brush to contour. So I just get a little bit on, tap off any excess. I'm going to grab this mirror, start right here at the hollow of my cheek. And kind of just work it up and around the hairline. Now, I probably won't even bronze because I find on my own skin, if I bronze and contour, it almost looks like too much on me. So I usually either do just one or the other. And we go and really, really blend. Okay, now, we've contoured, now we're going to blush, and I'm actually going to grab a highlighting brush by e.l.f. I'm going to dip into the blush. I'm just going to lately I've been liking to go really light on the blush and get just like a hint of color. And just kind of buff that on the cheeks. And I might have applied that too low, but that's okay. Alright, now for a highlight, I'm going to use an e.l.f. small tapered brush. And I'm just going to use the exact highlight in here. It's so beautiful. I used it before on my sister and it's gorgeous, and I've swatched it and it's beautiful. It's kind of a subtle highlight, but it gives such like a pretty natural glow. Okay, now we're going to move on to eyebrows. I recently got the NYX Micro Brow Pencil at Walmart. They finally started selling it at my Walmart, and I got it in the shade Ash Brown. It is such a good pencil. Let me see if I can zoom you in. Or I might just have to step closer. I've been trying to like film a brow routine, but I never had one that I liked. So first I'm just going to go through with the spoolie. And I love this pencil. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's really small. And it's almost like more dry, and I like that in pencils. I've learned I don't like pencils that are too waxy or creamy. Alright, one brow. And this isn't the only thing I do. I also go through, you know, recomb them, set them. Sometimes I'll go in with the powder too. It just kind of depends. I love how I'm just like, we're gonna attempt to stay in frame today. Okay. I'm gonna take a break and we're gonna comb through them before I make these way bigger than they need to be. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to set them. I'm going to use my NYX Clear Brow Gel today. Because I don't necessarily want any more color, I just want to set them in place. Okay, perfect. I feel like this brow's way uneven. And that's okay, they do look alright. Alright, now for the eyes and lips. Here we go. Alright, so now we're super up close again. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it somewhat natural on the eyes. I think I'm gonna go back in with this palette and grab a big old fluffy brush and go in with that contour shade and just put that in the crease of my eye. I'll try to get that somewhat on my lid too. Now I'm going to take my finger and take the highlight shade and just put that all over the lid. Actually, I noticed that highlight is so natural that I want something just a little more oomph. So I'm going to pick up my e.l.f. highlighter in Moonlight Pearl. It's a big highlighter. I'm going to take it on my ring finger and just get a little bit on there and just kind of pat that over my lid. Just give it a slight bit more like glisten almost. Now, I'm going to go back to the crease. I'm going to grab an e.l.f. crease brush. Same contour shade. I'm just gonna go back over that one more time. And then I'm gonna just brush it off on my arm and blend over everything. Now, something I've been really loving to do lately is grab my Marc Jacobs HIghliner. This is Highliner in Browner. What shade is this? Earthquake. It's a matte brown. And I like to tight line. So I just kind of run it up along my upper lash line. And it just gives a slight, like, more full lash line look. I'm going to throw in a little bit of e.l.f. tinted lip oil while we're here in Nude. And then for mascara, we're going to use CoverGirl Supersizer and then Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect. This is a great everyday mascara and it's also a great layering mascara. Now, I hit both top and bottom lashes with that. Now I'm going to go over just my top lashes again with this one. As I like to say, this one gives it just a little bit more oomph. There we go. Alright, now, I'm not going to set my makeup on camera because every time I spray my face with, no matter what spray, but I like to use the Milani setting spray, my lower lash mascara gets all over the place. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Actually, I'm just going to cover up my eyes and do it. So I'm going with my Milani setting spray. There we go. Perfect. So that is the complete finished look. It's really natural, kind of glowy. I just love this. I wanted to try out these new products. So if you like this kind of video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe. and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. I try my best to upload every Monday and Wednesday, sometimes on the weekend. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!